If you love music and if you love classical choral music, you are in luck, because coming up on March 2nd, there is a very special performance happening, all part of Choral Arts of Chattanooga. Darren Hasseford is here to get us excited about this. So it's all French music at this particular Requiem, is that right?
Yes, it features particularly Maurice Duruflé and his Requiem, and then also a well-known organ piece played by Jason DeRoy. So he's my collaborator in all things choral arts. He's a fabulous pianist and organist. So he's doing a 10-minute prelude and fugue by Duruflé that's very well known by organists, very challenging.
Nice.
And then Panis Angelicus is a really well-known piece by Franck. We're performing that, and also Fauré's Cantique de Jean Racine. And it's really beautiful, soothing music. You know, a lot of people think of a Requiem as somber.
That's what I asked
right?
you, yeah.
Yes, because it's composed particularly for funerals or when someone has passed. But the work by Duruflé is based on a lot of Gregorian chant. And so it has a really beautiful, peaceful unison line that Duruflé then develops into full choral singing.
How old is the piece?
He wrote it, he started writing it in 1941. He was commissioned by the French government.
Okay.
And he finished it in 1947, and it debuted in 1948.
Why did they commission him, do you know?
I think they were just trying to, they were trying to encourage French music.
Okay.
So they put out an open call to composers. Yep, and by the time Maurice Duruflé finished it, that French government had actually collapsed. But he still got the commission and finished a glorious work that is performed a lot today.
Well, I think it's interesting, the timing of it, though, because if it was done post, well, really still World War II was still going on, I wonder how much of that pain of watching his country go through that war.
I think very much so. Reflected. You know, how would you not, how would that not influence you?
Right.
And I think it may be one of the reasons that he may have looked at Gregorian chant as a base, because just that really peaceful unison line. It's been a real challenge for the choir, because you really have to work hard to develop, you know, 20 sopranos or 20 altos singing one line in unison, and then it develops and opens up into this beautiful four-part choral singing. Okay,
there are so many ways we can take this conversation. So before I get into the technique, let's talk about this too. It is kind of fitting that it's a Requiem, because you are doing this in honor and memory of David Friberg.
David Friberg is a well-known musician in Chattanooga, organist. He was the accompanist pianist for choral arts for over 30 years, worked with Dr. John Hamm, and he passed away recently, kind of suddenly. And so we are dedicating this performance in his honor and his memory.
So now let's talk about the technique. Because when you hear something that's done well, or you see a beautiful piece of art, and you don't know the skill level involved in achieving that, you can look at it and go, oh, isn't that pretty?
Yes.
For you to be able to direct this many voices, and like you're saying, especially to have this unison sound, that's got to be a challenge, Darren. It
is a challenge, and we rehearse at least 2 hours a week, every week, and really working sometimes in sectionals, but just a lot of repetition and going over text. The work is in Latin. The Fauré piece that we're doing is in French, so we also had to drill French. But then just, again, repetition, allowing them to sing next to each other using different formations during rehearsal to help them hear and to listen. There's this, particularly in the Duruflé, it is as important that they listen to each other as how much individual sound they produce.
So how long is the whole performance, would you say?
The Duruflé is about 30 minutes. The entire concert will be about an hour.
Okay. So it is and it begins at what time?
At 7:30.
On March 2nd?
Yes, at March 2nd at First Centenary United Methodist Church.
So it's a ticketed event. All the monies, I'm assuming, go back to help with the work you do there.
Yes,
at Choral
to cover
Arts.
our costs.
Kids, students are $10.
Correct.
And kids under 10 years old are free.
Are free.
If you have kids that are, or teenagers even, that are kind of stressed out, this could be a great way just to let them come, even if you think, no offense, if you think that they're bored,
Right.
they're absorbing it.
Absolutely.
It goes into their pores.
Absolutely. And there's something very special about French music. In organ and in singing and orchestration, they really pull out colors in the human voice or in an orchestra that is really unique to that French school, and it's very special. It's very beautiful.
Well, say magnifique.
Magnifique.
That's not French
Right.
for the day. So you can go, you can get your tickets online. We've got it pretty specific for you, which is choralartsofchattanooga.weebly.com. Darren says, don't worry about the Weebly. If you just go to choralartschattanooga.com, it will get you there.
It will.
There's a lot of seating there at First Centenary.
Yes.
But go ahead and get them now. March 2nd at 7:30. If you knew and loved David Friberg, you'll know what a special tribute this would be to him.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you so much.
I'm C. Mark.
I'm John Moore.
Do you have a question about Social Security disability?
We don't get paid unless you get paid.
One call did it all. WG got me my benefits.
WG got me my monthly checks coming in.
It was my money and WG got it for me.
Hey, it was my money. WG got it for me.
I'm C. Mark.
I'm John Moore.
We don't get paid unless you get paid.
Ask about our zero attorney fee guarantee.
Call us at 265-HURT.